Yo, 2011 Acadia. It's got the 3.6 liter VVT in it, V6 thing. It's got this wonderful code in it, a P0017, crankshaft position, camshaft position correlation, bank 1 code. I'm going to show you something special about this. I can see how a lot of people that diagnose this wrong, maybe toss a sensor in it or two, or maybe replace timing chains or something, but this has got a completely different problem as far as I've found. And this is why you should have a really good scan tool for diagnosing things. Even a graphing meter really isn't going to tell you as much as this will. I'm going to go into read data stream. Ignition data. They have active counters in here. Crankshaft sensor active counter. Bank 1 camshaft sensor active counter. Intake. Bank 2. I'm going to do those. I'm going to start the car. This is doing about a, 250 count, and then it goes back to 0, and I can hit graph. And this is showing all my camshaft sensors and my crankshaft sensor. And if you can see all the camshaft sensors, they're doing a nice stair step. So it's doing a count, and then it drops back down to 0. It does a count and drops back down to 0. Look at what my crankshaft sensor is doing. It's all over the place. I'll let it run like this for a little while, let it idle. So this is telling me that all the sensors are working. And the camshaft sensors are all nice and consistent. This crankshaft sensor is not. It's being really goofy. Give it a little gas. These are all nice and consistent. That one's still all goofy and all over the place. See, sometimes I get 1 notch and sometimes I get 3 or 4. Now I'm getting a little more. It's super inconsistent. See, now it's starting to read even more. Probably because the oil's getting thinner, I would guess. Or maybe the crankshaft and reluctor expanded from heat. That is not a sensor issue. That is definitely a mechanical issue with the reluctor on the crankshaft. That reluctor is supposed to be pressed on or bolted on, and it's supposed to be stationary. And it's not supposed to move at all. So there's probably a lot of people out there that are getting this code and they're going to replace a crankshaft sensor or camshaft sensors, or maybe go after the timing chain or something. But that would be the total wrong way to go. What I would want to do with this is actually take out the sensor and stick my finger in there and make sure that reluctor isn't loose. Make sure it's lined up really good. It's so inconsistent. It's like a drunken sailor. It's a drunken crankshaft. It's trying real hard to be consistent, but it just can't do it. Okay, I've seen enough of this. This car's a 4-wheel drive. I already called the guy and told him that in order for me to fix this, I'd have to take the crankshaft out of the car, so he doesn't even want me to do the work. But if I was to diagnose this one step farther, I would probably end up taking this axle out because there's a metal cover right there with some 10 millimeters on it. You can see that wire loom. There's a knock sensor and a crankshaft sensor in there. If I took that crankshaft sensor out, I could probably get something in that reluctor and move it around and see if it's loose. I'm going to find that it's loose, but I'm not going to do all this work because he doesn't want me to do anything anyways. So that's my short and sweet video. Don't go putting a timing chain in a car when you got this code and replacing crankshaft sensors when they're not bad. Maybe this will save somebody from misdiagnosing a very expensive, very time-consuming job. Okay, bye.